I have been absolutely, completely, and totally worried in a giant way that the federal government was going to move under globalist control to restrict the Second Amendment. And to basically, instead of just trying to eat around the edges, go for it all right now. There are repeals in hundreds of newspapers, police chiefs, company heads, members of Congress saying get rid of the Second Amendment outright. They're not arguing that the Second Amendment didn't mean you could own guns like they used to do. They're now saying let's just take the guns. Up at INFOWARS.com right now, we have this article. Even without Congress, Obama could act to restrict guns. And no, it's not the countless articles we've written the last 4 or 5 days since Friday's tragic events at Sandy Hook, or the video I put out called "The Fix is In. They are coming for our guns." No, that is a Reuters headline. A Reuters headline. I'm going to say that again. A Reuters headline. That's what Bloomberg meant last Saturday when he said use executive power to take the guns. This is Reuters, ladies and gentlemen. So now is the time for everyone to understand just how much trouble we're in. Before I get to all this news, and I will be calm, the Second Amendment's worth it. I will break down the facts and give you a battlefield report on what's about to happen. And we've got Larry Pratt, who was on yesterday. He went on Piers Morgan. It was unbelievable. On the dwindling, faltering, state-run media of CNN. He's going to be popping in at the bottom of the hour to talk about the incredible lies of Piers Morgan, and Piers Morgan was calling him a liar. And we're going to go over the statistics of the doubling of violent crime conservatively in the 15 years since England totally banned guns in the hands of citizens. And we're going to go over the FBI's own real crime statistics versus the hoax that you're seeing and the hoax that the media, the controlled corporate media, is putting out. But I want to say this again. They said before the election quietly that we're going to use executive orders to get the guns. Obama signed more executive orders than all presidents before him. The first executive orders were how much money Congress allotted to Martha Washington on the plate she was going to buy so she could put on state dinners at the president's residence at that time in New York. The president executes the laws. Now the president on war, on taxes, on cyber orders, on power plants, on everything is just signing orders. In fact, I meant to print this before. Will you guys type in ATF takes public comment on shotgun ban? Because a bunch of newspapers will come up, but there's the actual ATF filing last year, late 2011, about 13 months ago, where they just said, we're just going to ban most shotguns. And then Congress said, no, there has to be a law, so they backed off. But that's the issue, is that this is what they're moving towards, a no-gun list, where they just put you on an executive list, as Rahm Emanuel called for. There it is, ATF to accept public comment prior to outlawing shotguns. Folks, people are saying, hey, this will cause a civil war. We've got articles where Mike Adams talked to a bunch of FBI and police he knows. They're like, well, that'll cause a civil war. They won't do it. Guys, that's the plan, okay? And they're going to initiate it even if they think it's unpopular and will fail, because they want to label gun owners as terrorists. You've already seen that starting, saying we're the Klan, we're terrorists, kill us, arrest us, kill the NRA heads. That's all in the news. This is a plan to start a revolution in this country. We're really the counter-revolutionaries to the globalists.
While we fight to retain our liberty, while we fight to expose globalism, we have to realize we're talking about a very powerful combination of power.
Renowned author and expert Joel Skousen breaks down the globalist plan to shut down America and stage a new world war.
In one day, America will go from day to night. And if you haven't prepared in advance, there's not enough time to prepare in 24 hours, even if you saw it that early.
Coming to the InfoWar in November is our new documentary film presentation,
Strategic relocation is a systematic way to think strategically in the future about how do I safeguard.
Joel Skousen, strategic relocation.
The freeways are going to be crowded, they're going to run out of gasoline, they're going to run out of food, and then they're going to start to go north and south of those freeways.
Joel Skousen is renowned as one of the world's foremost experts in strategic relocation and the securing of your home.
We talk about natural disasters, the health environment, we talk about pollution, the water quality. My personal experience about being in every one of these states.
Government is digging in for the organized, incremental collapse of society and world war.
The U.S. isn't building huge underground bases and bunkers because of some terrorist threat. They know that a massive nuclear attack is coming. They want that attack to come. Most people won't even be ready and won't be able to get out of town when any of these nuclear weapons fall, because there'll be absolute panic.
There is no preparedness without strategy.
What I tell people is that you do have time. Prepare wisely in advance.
This Christmas, give the gift of preparedness. Strategic Relocation, the film, with Joel Skousen and Alex Jones. I told you that the globalists were getting ready to implode this country. I told you that they would blame preppers and patriots for mass shootings and attacks. I told you they would use executive orders and executive power to restrict the Second Amendment. Our so-called President Barry Soetoro is speaking with Biden right now, going, we need to be able to know if somebody's got a criminal record. We need to have a background check. He was just saying that before we went live here. We're about to go to the feed. When they do a total background check, this guy had been refused not 3, not 4, but 5 times. This guy was under psychiatric care, undoubtedly on psychotropics, but they're trying to keep that sealed. This is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. They're creating a mass hoax. And now Reuters is reporting what Bloomberg called for. Even without Congress, Obama could act to restrict guns. And they go on to announce that's what's set to happen. I talked to a high-level congressional source on Monday who was going to get back with me, and then it just got lost in the fog of war. I need to call back and talk to that congressperson, I'll just leave it at that, who said the word is that they are going to use executive power to go after the guns. And that's why I told you that 3 weeks ago in the cover story in the magazine. We already knew that. That's what Larry Pratt said yesterday. He's joining us again today to respond to the president, and also Piers Morgan trying to demonize him last night on the dwindling CNN. But he's got Biden with him, and he says, hey, you got a right to have arms, but we got a right to take military-style guns. That's what he's answering questions right now. Let's go to this disgusting press conference. Here it is.
Somebody like me. And what I said was that the ultimate package would involve a balance of spending cuts and tax increases. That's exactly what I've put forward.
Okay.
What I've said is that...
So again, he came out and talked about mass shootings and said we need to restrict the Second Amendment, you know, that you have a right basically to turn your guns in. And that everybody agrees you don't need these military-style weapons, which is all semi-autos, most guns. And again, guys, will you print me that ATF report? Because I want to show that to folks where they say, oh, we're going to make a rule and ban 60+% of all shotguns. Oh, we're going to make a rule, and any shotgun that's semi-auto or a shotgun that could take a clip in the bottom, not by manufacturer, but a shotgun that can take a clip by the gun being changed, converted. You're going to have to turn that in. Not just that you can't buy them anymore or manufacture them or import them. They're going to just take them. And here is Reuters. And you guys monitor it. When he goes to gun questions, tell me and we'll go back to him. Even without Congress, Obama could act to restrict guns. Reuters. Unburdened by re-election worries and empowered by law, and that's a lie. See, they're trying to give him the cover. To act without Congress. Did you hear that? Why even have a Congress? See, they're now saying, oh, we don't need Congress to launch wars. We don't need Congress for cybersecurity acts, take over the web. We don't need Congress to shut down power plants. We don't need Congress for carbon taxes. See how more and more is just act executively. This is how dictatorship works, by increment. And we've gone from the first executive orders, look them up, Martha Washington asking Congress for money to buy a bunch of state china plates and cutlery to be able to have the French ambassador there. That's one of the first executive orders. We've done a report on it. Go look them up. They're on the Library of Congress. The first executive orders were George Washington asking for the White House to be repainted. To now, hey, Congress, I'll go to war if I feel like it under NATO authority. It'd be bad enough if he said under presidential authority. That's dictator. This is dictator puppet, viceroy behavior. And now on every front, we keep explaining, and now there's all these voices from Michael Moore to former police chiefs, current police chiefs, the mayor of New York, Reuters. Listen to this. Unburdened by re-election worries and empowered by law to act without Congress, U.S. President Barack Obama could take action to improve background checks. Now, again, what they've proposed under Rahm Emanuel is that they just put you on a list that you can't own guns, even if you haven't been adjudicated mentally ill. He just said, if we don't like you, we think you're bad, we just put you on that list and no guns for you. We've played that clip ad nauseum, but I'm going to dig it back up and play it today, later in the hour. So see, it's, oh, that's reasonable, background checks. Oh, it's reasonable. Let's have some TSA. Now they stick their hands down your pants. By the way, I've got some bad news. It's all over Texas news. It's on drudgereport.com. It's on INFOWARS.com. On video, just like with TSA, they pull over two good-looking women. They just pull them over, routine traffic stop. In front of the cameras, go in their pants, inside their bodies, with the same glove. And the state police of Texas say, hey, we'll do this anytime we want. This is good. No judge, no jury, no warrant, no emergency, no nothing. Just, okay, turn around. I'm going in your body. And the hand goes in, and the women are like, what are you? It's incredible. It is incredible. I mean, folks, I've said I won't leave the U.S., but, I mean, I can't let them do this to my kids. I was pulled over once by state police, and they were really eyeing my kids and looking at me, looking like sharks. I started saying, man, I don't like how you're looking at my kids. And I just can't help it. I mean, I cannot be in a country like this. I mean, this country's like North Korea. All over Texas, they just pull you over and take the money out of your wallet now. I mean, this country's gone, man. If we don't, man, this government's out of control. I watched this video today of them ramming their hands in these women. I mean, it's unbelievable. It is rape. And the state police saw the video and said, we think this is good, and we're going to admit this is official policy. They're out TSA and the TSA. And when I saw the headline, I said, I bet these women are hot blondes. Guess what they are? Wonder why you get into that business. Wonder why you want to ram your hand in a woman. I mean, this country is, and I'm sorry if you're tuning in on AM and FM, and this sounds, it's going on the highways. I'm totally freaked out right now. I get in here every day, and I read all this news, and I see it all, and I know how real it is, and I know how much trouble we're in, and then I see the sheeple out there who have no idea how much danger they're in. And that's what's going to start revolution, is just when people know that when they get pulled over, they could have their wife and children drug off to be raped. And the women are suing, saying it's rape, and the state police are saying no, and they're suing the head of the DPS. They say, no, this is good. Hi, get out of the car. Okay, bend over. I mean, this country is in so much trouble, ladies and gentlemen, that the government is now forcibly inoculating school children all over the country without law. It's felony, and they're doing it. And telling parents, hey, cops aren't going to do anything. We're going to shoot your kid up. You only find out about it when the kids have convulsions. I mean, this government, we have just been eased into tyranny like the frog in the cold water, and they turn the heat up. We're boiled, folks. And let me tell you something, it's always many times worse than I even know. In fact, I've had a little sick game around the office. It's really a journalistic action. The sickest thing you can think of, we'll search engine it, and the government's doing it. They're doing everything. Folks, let me get back to this, okay? Even without Congress, Obama could act to restrict guns. And the way they're going to do it is, hey, it's reasonable. We're just going to take all your semi-autos. And, hey, we're just going to put you on a no-gun buy list and make you turn them in if we say so. With all this data mining. Prospects for gun control, victim disarmament legislation, intensified in the wake of the school massacre in Newtown, Connecticut. As more pro-gun rights lawmakers said on Monday, they were open to the possibility, while Obama said 3 cabinet members met with the White House to discuss the subject. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republicans are going to go along with all the tax increases, total taxes on 75% on inheritance. They are going to go with TSA on the streets. They're going to go with saying you got to turn your guns in. That's where this is going. Folks, I'm telling you, this isn't just going to be you can't sell semi-autos anymore. They've been given the word. They've pulled 3 shows off Discovery alone that are top-rated gun shows. They're canceling shows everywhere else. They are pulling guns out of Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, and most of the other places we called. And again, they've been given the corporate jurisdiction word at these CFR real government councils, these corporate councils. This is the time to make their full move and go, you're a Nazi, you're a demon, the NRA needs to die. We're seeing this mainstream news. No one's getting arrested. They're calling for the murder of Wayne LaPierre. They're calling for the murder of the NRA board. We've got an NRA board member coming on tomorrow. They are just wholesale. This is their revolution against America. And by the way, Rob Dew did a report last night with news clips, with eyewitnesses. These aren't rumors. Saying, oh, I saw the guy in the camo and the bag, and he said, I'm not the one, and the cops took him away, and they won't say who he is. And yeah, it looks like the guy that was in the school with the other person. Folks, they did this. What you do, and remember all the over 100 FBI deals, even mainstream media admitted, where they would go find mentally ill people and give them a bomb, train them, take them to bomb the Christmas tree in Portland or whatever. And then it came out they were setting up mentally ill people. And this guy was now under psychiatric daily visits. He was about to be committed. He's on these drugs undoubtedly. He's a wind-up toy. They bring him in. They kill him. He's wearing a mask. The real shooters kill, exfiltrate out. I mean, they've done it before. They did Fast and Furious to blame the Second Amendment. And this goes on to say the ATF can just ban guns with rules under law. It's not true. They just say it. They're hoaxing dumb people. And that Obama can sign executive orders and that the word is he is. Okay? And we'll give you more on what he's been talking about in this press conference coming back. Larry Pratt is coming up with an update. It's on, folks. Okay, a transcript of Obama's statements is not out yet, but my team wrote notes on what he said, and we do have a USA Today report that has some of the quotes. And Obama has done what we knew he would do. He is enlisting all Americans to join him in a crusade against, quote, military-style weapons. That's almost all handguns and rifles. They're saying only hunting stuff, basically, which is not what the Second Amendment is about. Okay, so they're going with that like, hey, you got a right to have guns. You can have that single-shot shotgun or rifle. We're taking everything else. So we have this information. He lists all the massacres with pleasure, and he's willing to bet, that's a quote, that responsible gun owners don't want criminals to have weapons of war. And then he went on to say there's no background check, and we need a background check. I mean, wow, really playing on the dumb public. It's like they keep saying everybody's got machine guns. Nobody's got machine guns. And machine guns hardly ever get used in crimes. You got to jump through 100 hoops to get one. And let me give you a news flash. They're not very good for killing people. So the military goes to single and 3 burst. But again, these anti-gunners, they know that. The general public that isn't into guns, they count on them being ignorant. And the gun culture was the top-rated shows everywhere. A&E, Discovery, History. I never even watched television. I turned it on, and every show was people, shooting guns and women getting into guns, and every women's magazine I saw. I mean, even the local Chronicle. You see, so they're panicking, and they're pushing everything they've got. And Aaron ran up to me and reminded me, the 68 Gun Control Act was pushed on the back of JFK being killed because Lee Harvey Oswald could have walked into any shop without his name and just bought that rifle. But no, it had to be by mail so they could shut that down. And then they couldn't pass it, and so RFK got killed. And it's now come out, Sirhan, in mainstream news, didn't shoot Kennedy, and the CIA was there, and we know the name of the CIA agent asset that did it. So the government did JFK and RFK and used it to pass the 68 Gun Control Act. And then crime rates exploded because citizens couldn't get guns. Then people started going through the hoops to get the concealed carry, all the rest of it. And crime rates have dropped. And I'm going to go over that after Larry Pratt leaves us today. I'm going to play the video and audio of him being attacked on Piers Morgan while I show viewers the FBI's own statistics and then show you Europe's statistics and England's statistics and Mexico's statistics showing that as we got more guns, crime went down, not what Piers Morgan is saying. Again, it's all about perception. Just like for 2 years, most people wouldn't go in the water because of Jaws that came out in the early 70s. And we have the newspaper articles. I'm going to do another report on it, showing where people would panic and not go in the water, and beaches lost more than half their customers for at least 2 years. They had to do PSAs saying there's not great white sharks here. They kill a few people a year worldwide. It's not a problem. And it's the same mass hoax, ladies and gentlemen. 88 people died this year in mass shootings. 88. 88. Most of those were gang-related. But Obama doesn't care. You would think the end of the world happened because they show you the kids, they use them, they dangle them in front of you, using their deaths to disarm this country and bring us all into the darkness of the megacities where they've taken the citizens' guns that have such high crime rates and where the people are fed on. They're going to lead anti-gunner. Biden has been tapped to lead it. We have a deep obligation, all of us, to try and end gun violence. Yeah, they say never again can there be any guns, period, in a shooting. Obama said at the White House, this time the words need to lead to action. And as Reuters reported, a bunch of Republicans have lined up and said, yep, we're going to not just put people on a no-gun buy list for no reason. We need to shut down all sale of semi-autos, and we need to turn them in. They're going to go, that's reasonable. You don't want to kill the kids, do you? Time to turn your guns in. You have a right to a Second Amendment, a right to turn them in. It's here. Because, folks, they've already gutted all your pension funds. They're already all gone. They're already gone, just like Europe. They're going to implode this place totally. And they want to be able to come around, just pick you up and take you to jail, do whatever they want with you. The police have been trained and hired to do body cavity searches of women, you name it, on the side of the road. Children, old people. They're setting up checkpoints everywhere. The feds are run by foreign banks. We're going under full occupation. Now Obama put an internet kill switch in. Congress wouldn't pass it. Mainstream news even said it was the end of internet freedom. He just said, I've signed an order, but it's secret. Congress can't see it. I mean, Congress makes the laws. But the UN bragged, hey, it gives us control of the web and we can censor. See, it's on. It's on. See, all you fools that don't want guns, you don't understand. They're going to take everything else. The entire Bill of Rights. You think stuff's bad now? They're coming with the fairness doctrine to shut down talk radio. We'd all better stand up against this hoax now, or they're going to take us down. They're coming. They're coming. This is it. This country. They brag in their own financial publications, like the Financial Times of London, Bloomberg, you name it, that don't worry, we've signed America and Europe onto our 1.5 quadrillion derivatives. And there's no way their governments are getting out of this. They say they have signed on. We are taking over these countries, period. And we are bringing them down, and we're going to get rid of their standard of living, and we're going to sign their kids onto all of our debt. And they've announced themselves world rulers. We have an article titled, "Bankers Declare They've Captured and Conquered the United States and Europe." And it has dozens of links and video clips to them openly bragging in everyone's face that they have been able to do this. Now, it's very simple. The last thing they've got to get is our guns. They're already announcing they'll take your property without due process. They're already announcing the IRS won't let you leave the country if they feel like it. No judge, no jury, you just can't leave. No judge, no jury, they just take your bank account. They're going down a list of every basic liberty and getting rid of it. They're going down a list of every tyranny, and they're putting it in its place. We historically know what this means. We historically understand how tyrannies take over time and time and time again. And we are now going into this system full bore. And it is so painful to see the fact that our country has gotten to this point and is in the grip of hardcore mafia that is dangling 20 dead, sad little children and their families and the sadness they're going through in our face to terrorize us and say, you're not a good person if you don't turn your guns in. You're not a good person if you don't go along with all of this. You are a bad person if you don't submit to all of this tyranny. I mean, it is clear, total, in our face, psychological warfare, and it is being announced all over the news that they are going to come after our guns, period. This is the setup. And they're not going to stop, okay? They've already gone for broke. These are criminals. And they're engaged in psych warfare. And any of these businesses that say they're not going to sell guns, well, look, it's Walmart, it's Dick's, it's these big globalist multinationals. They're controlled by the mega corporations. They're controlled by the mega banks. They know what they're doing. They know what their agenda is. And again, they have to kill the gun culture now, because out of the gun culture, the rest of the liberty culture is growing. Alex Jones here with some very important breaking news. The latest edition of INFOWARS magazine, December 2012, is out. And no, we don't really cover people that think that the world is going to end on December 21st. We are predicting the world will not end. But we are predicting that the end of our free republic may take place if people don't wake up and get aggressive and angry and speak out against what's happening. This man wants your guns. That is the cover of the 60-page glossy magazine, jam-packed with information and the truth. And you know what they say, the truth will set you free. You can buy the magazine at cost in bulk in groups of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right up to 100 to give everyone you know. And believe me, people will open this up. It is full of unbelievably powerful graphics, cartoons. We've got artist profiles on patriots out there that are exposing the globalists. And it's got several articles breaking down the facts that Obama and his globalist controllers want to disarm the American people and are going to try to ban all semi-autos. The facts are in this magazine, and this is the most important of the 4 issues we have ever put out. And when you do sign up for the subscription, you don't just get 12 in the mail. When supplies last of the previous issues, we will put back issues like the November issue, Zombies, Are You a Zombie? Breaking down how television has put the general public into a trance-like state. You will get that when you sign up for the next 12 issues in December of 2012. Now, you're out there watching saying, Alex, we know all about the New World Order, and yes, the magazine's a great thing, but why should we support it? Well, you're also supporting free speech and print 2.0. With the internet kill switches coming in and all the rest of this, it's important to have physical copies that are out there, just like the founders did in the 10 years leading up to the Revolutionary War in 1776. They put out their little primitive broadsheets printed on both sides, pointing out the crimes of the crown, and that helped organize and awake the public to finally win the physical victory when war and conflict unfortunately came. My goal is to expose the globalist and to win the info war so it doesn't become a physical war. We've seen Hillary Clinton saying that they're winning the info war. Top globalist Zbigniew Brzezinski says that nationalism is growing and that people are waking up against outside forces because of populism and alternative media. This particular issue of the magazine is the one to give friends and family. It's the one to put under the tree or in the stocking. It's the one to leave at church. It's the one to leave at the dentist office. This is the one, the December issue of INFOWARS magazine with Ron Paul, the attack on the Second Amendment, the police state, the GMO takeover. It's all there and all available at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Get your subscription or buy the magazines in bulk today. I'm Alex Jones signing off for InfoWars.com. Until next time, remember, if you're watching this, if you're receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.